a Porsche Carrera GT, a Mercedes-Benz SLR, an Audi Q7, and a Hummer H2. As I pulled my piece of crap 1992 Chevy Cavalier into the parking lot of Park City High School, these were the student cars I had to pass by in order to enter the school. I knew that I was going to fill out a place because just one of those cars was more money than my dad had made this entire year. I wasn't really sure what a poor boy from a coal mining town, Price, Utah, could possibly teach these students that seemingly had everything they could ever want. This was my first day of teaching. 1 month before this day, I was living in a tent with my wife and son at the base of Brian Head Peak, just outside of Cedar City, Utah. We had no flushing toilets, no hot showers, and no telephone service. I was working for a scout camp that summer, and my wife and I decided to save money by staying in a tent at the camp, so we wouldn't have to pay rent. At this point, I knew I wanted to teach. I had just received my college degree, and I had applied for several teaching positions across the country. I had 2 job offers that were tempting. A school in Las Vegas, Nevada offered me a job with a pretty high salary. I needed money desperately. However, raising a child in Sin City could be a challenge. And did I really want to expose my son to the darker sides of humanity? The other job offer was in Park City, Utah, at Park City High School. Staying in Utah was not my first choice, but it was a better place to raise a family. My wife and I decided that a healthy environment for our son was better than more money. Being young college graduates, we didn't have much stuff to pack. 1 truckload did the job. The biggest problem we now faced was where to live. We couldn't afford housing in Park City. $1,200 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment, not on a teacher's salary. After looking at the small outlying communities, Heber City became our new home. I was a little nervous because our new neighbor drove a jacked-up truck with the Confederate flag hanging in the back window, but overall it seemed like a nice, quiet town. It was obviously different than the glamorous town of Park City that I would be driving to every day with fancy houses and nice cars. But overall, I was excited about this experience. As I entered my classroom on the first day of my teaching career, I knew I had to make a good impression to these elite students at Park City. I quickly found out what I had imagined the students to act like, look like, and live like was not true. These students were just like all the students I had been working with throughout my teaching program. They had the same fears, desires, and problems that all high school students face. They cared about their future, they wanted people to notice them, they wanted to make a difference in the world. No matter how many times you are told not to judge a book by its cover, we constantly need reminders that people are inherently good. No matter where they come from, what their background is, or what kind of car they drive, people have more in common with each other than they think. I'm glad I teach at Park City High School. I love the lessons my students continue to teach me. Here are my sources of images. The end.